Thousands of janitors are on strike right now throughout Los Angeles County. Picket lines are going up in downtown Los Angeles. Eyewitness News reporter John North is there. He has a live update. John.
Mark, so far there are only a handful of people across the street at the gas company. We expect quite a few more as the evening goes on. It's going to be a rolling strike, starting here, then hitting other buildings. Most janitors go to work as the rest of the people are going home. Their shifts start at 6 o'clock. That's why they're here. The building managers have been preparing. They've been hiring people to replace them, and they're being accused of unfair labor practices. The janitors started their strike with a rally and strike vote at union headquarters. The red cards are their affirmation of a strike. The 8,500 union janitors are the people who clean the offices and bathrooms of commercial buildings throughout Los Angeles County.
So I want the benefits for my son, my daughter. My little daughter is 3 months old, and I want to take the hospital. I want to pay over, you know. That's why I bought a strike, and I'm not ready for the strike.
Janitors start at $6.80 an hour. They want a $1 an hour increase over 3 years. The contractors have offered a maximum of 50 cents an hour, and that's for the first year.
Our members average $6.90. The New York members are making, doing the same kind of work with the same contractors, are making $15, $16 an hour. San Francisco, $12 to $15 an hour.
There are 18 contractors who hire the janitors. Their chief negotiator is Dick Davis.
And we don't think that, coming up with increases much in excess of 18% is a sound business-like decision. I mean, we're not talking here about rollaways or takeaways. We're talking about double the national average.
The janitors are getting some high-profile support.
This is a job about what kind of city we're going to live in. A city where there's just rich and poor, or a city where we're building up people.
The people who own the buildings behind us and who employ our janitors can afford to pay a decent living wage to the people who clean their buildings.
No way of knowing how long the strike will last or what, if any, impact it's going to have. There are no new negotiations scheduled. Live from downtown Los Angeles, I'm John North. Back to you.
Thank you, John. LA County janitors take to the streets in the second week of a rolling strike. They want a pay hike of $1 an hour per year for the next 3 years. Michael James is live in Chopper 2 above downtown Los Angeles with the latest. Michael?
And right now they have surrounded the Citicorp building here in the downtown Los Angeles area located on Flower Street. And what they're doing is for a while here, for about 20 minutes, they surrounded this building, sometimes stopping and sometimes just continuing in a continuous circle. And right now, it looks like they are kind of wrapping things up here at the Citicorp building. And what they're going to do is work their way over to the Arco Plaza, where they intend to, at that point, encircle that building as well. And then what they'll do is they'll hold hands, encircle the building in a show of unity, and hopefully that'll gain some sympathy towards their efforts. Now, this demonstration this afternoon is supposed to go on from downtown area for at least a couple of hours. From that point, around 2 o'clock this afternoon, they're planning on marching over to Our Lady Queen of Angels Church, and at that point, Cardinal Mahoney will conduct a mass at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. So right now, the majority of the strike is right around the Citicorp building. We'll pan over here. You can see they're now crossing the street here. They will be heading over to the Arco Plaza. They should be there shortly around 11 o'clock, actually around 12:30 this afternoon. Flying over downtown Los Angeles, Michael James, Chopper 2, back to you in the studio.
Okay, Michael, thank you for that. After almost 3 weeks out on the picket lines, LA's janitors are getting even more support today, and this time support from a powerful politician. CBS 2 News reporter Jennifer Sabi has that story.
My good friend and one of our great leaders.
Their accents were from places far apart. The senators from Massachusetts and the janitors from mostly Mexico. But they understood each other perfectly and were close as cousins in their cause.
We meet here on a street corner, but your voices are being heard in my state of Massachusetts and all over this nation.
Los Angeles janitors have been on strike now for 3 weeks. The men and women who work in the office buildings, cleaning toilets, emptying trash, and mopping tile floors, make an average of $300 a week. They want an extra $1 an hour more, and it seems just about every politician in town and out of it want it for them.
Anyone who is going to work 40 hours a week, 52 weeks of the year, ought to have an adequate wage and should not live in poverty.
The building owners say they can't afford $1 an hour, but they don't seem to have much sympathy. Vice President Al Gore, Jesse Jackson, Senator Edward Kennedy, and the entire Los Angeles City Council say they are unanimous, standing by, marching next to, and getting arrested with, if need be, the Los Angeles janitors.
We feel glad about that. We feel happy because we know we're not alone.
In downtown Los Angeles, Jennifer Sabi, CBS 2 News.
LA's 3-week-old janitor strike finally over. Today, the striking workers voted to accept a new contract. Al Naipo is live in El Segundo with word on when the janitors will return to work. Al?
Well, Susan, some of them have already returned to work in some of these buildings here behind me, but the remaining of the 8,500 janitors who struck, they'll be returning to work tomorrow. This after accepting a new 3-year deal. Striking janitors filed in by the hundreds to cast their ballots, deciding whether to accept the tentative agreement struck over the weekend. 88% of those voting said yes to a new contract ending the strike.
We go back to work with our heads high, with dignity.
Janitors led a victory dance following the announcement. They say they're relieved the strike is over.
Right now we're happy. We have a victory. We want what we want.
Tier 1 janitors working in downtown LA and Century City will earn $9.70 an hour by the end of the contract, a $1.90 an hour increase over 3 years. Tier 2 janitors working elsewhere in LA County will earn $8.40 an hour, a $1.20 hike over the term. Workers also won a $500 bonus, 5 paid sick days per year, along with contractors agreeing not to subcontract and to maintain health care benefits.
It was important to fix the inequity in the janitors' wages. I think that has been accomplished.
Striking janitors led large, noisy protests throughout the county nearly every day of their walkout. Their main gripe, earning wages below the federal poverty line. This janitor says it was a challenge of poverty against richness. Union negotiators say they remained committed.
This was a very, very serious endeavor, and we weren't going to let go until we won everything that there was to win.
And once again, all of the 8,500 striking janitors who went on strike, well, they've agreed to that new deal, and they'll all be back on the job tomorrow. Reporting live from El Segundo, I'm Al Naipo. Now back to you.
All right, thanks, Al.